Sony, what the hell is going on? What a time to announce this. Like, if you somehow missed the news, let me recap it very bluntly. Physical media is dead. At least it will be on PlayStation in January 2028. Sony are ceasing production on physical discs at that point. No publisher will be able to print physical copies on PlayStation consoles after that point. It's done. It's dead. Sony is going all digital. And this is terrible news. It's catastrophic news in every possible way. Sony are leading the way to an all-digital future on home consoles, and people are not happy about it. Of course we aren't. The reception to this announcement has been entirely negative. Even the pro-digital gamers who usually perk up and tell people to get with the times as they pay Sony to bend them over with every purchase, even they have not said anything. And even if they have, they've been drowned out by the tidal wave of negativity towards Sony. You guys know me, you should know me. I'm usually quite level-headed, I'm a considered person. I'm not a crusader on every issue that pops up, like, oh, the latest build of a game isn't on the physical release, and some people flip out and are ready to burn down the company that did it. That's not me, okay? I'm reasonable. Endless negativity and accountability does more harm than good, but this, I have been crusading like it's my last ride. This cannot stand. We need to fight back against this. Everybody does. Even if you are not a PlayStation gamer, this will affect you. It doesn't matter how or where you play your games, this will affect you in some way. We all need to stand up and make Sony change their mind. This is not just a consumer friendliness thing, it's not just a basic right to be able to own the thing you pay money for, but livelihoods, businesses around the world depending on physical video games, some exclusively, some in minor but still important ways. Entire industries will be closed because Sony wants to save $1 a pop on every game sale. It is a ludicrous decision. Even if 80% of gamers buy digitally now, yeah, you can say the masses truly don't care about this situation. It's only the eternally online, the vocal but minor hardcore collectors that are affected. And that is kinda true, but I think this will have a snowball effect that will have bigger consequences for Sony and the industry. It may improve their bottom line in the short term, but will make Sony's brand become less and less significant. Have you tried browsing digital stores? I have all 3 major consoles, and they are all absolutely terrible for discoverability. One of the benefits of having a physical release is that not only do you get potential sales from that, but it also acts as marketing in of itself. It puts the game in people's minds when they see it in GameStop, when they're browsing Amazon, when I bring it up in a video. Digital gamers see those and think, oh, I'm gonna get that when it's discounted on PSN or whatever. It almost gives the game a stamp of approval. Like, if it's got a physical release, it gives it a bit of authority. Obviously there are shovelware titles and stuff, but most of us humans with eyes and a brain can separate what is and what isn't. I think a game having a physical release makes it a more respectable game. It was worth the cost of making the case, the disc and cover, and then sending it halfway around the world to the very store you're standing in. But now, unless you're Call of Duty or PlayStation's once-per-year AAA exclusive, good luck getting seen, good luck getting eyes on your game. People either have to know what they're looking for, be lucky, stumble upon it, or scroll through endless streams of game thumbnails until your eyes bleed and everything looks the same, and everything looks crap. Developers are gonna suffer for this. Retailers will suffer. Stores will close. They will lose their meaning, their purpose. People will lose their jobs. It's an arrogant, selfish, greedy move from Sony. Now, of course, they're a business. They don't need to be altruistic. But physical games still make profit for them. Not as much profit, but it's still profit. I also understand that the PlayStation 6 is going to be unbelievably expensive and they need to cut costs where they can. Scrapping the drive might save them $50 to $100 per console manufactured, but what's the point in its existence if it's now just an overpriced PC with none of the extra features that a PC has? And let's face it, Sony and Xbox, they have brought this upon themselves. Yes, there are world issues going on right now that have pushed up the price of things, everything, but nobody forced them to push the technological race so much. More and more power, more and more realism. Talk about vocal minorities. I swear the masses would be perfectly okay with games that look like they could be on the PlayStation 4. Even less, like how many late PlayStation 3 games still look fantastic today? A lot of them. Why are Sony releasing a PlayStation 6 anyway? What is the need for it? Does the world need a PlayStation 6? The answer is no. Okay, put your hands up. I want to see you guys, okay? Who feels like the PlayStation 5 era has barely even started? Like, what do we have to show for these 6 years, or 8 years by the time it comes out? What a waste of a generation this has been. Sony barely has any significant games to show for it because games take too long to make thanks to the power, the details, the hairs on a horse's scrotum, and yet they want to make an even more powerful console with games with even more detail, even more hairs on the horse's scrotum, and that is the hair that is killing physical media. It's that unnecessary push for more powerful, more expensive hardware, more detailed games that has caused Sony to cut their ties with the medium. Remember when gaming used to be simple? You'd go to the shop, you'd pick up a PlayStation 1 game for 20 quid, you'd go home and it worked and you enjoyed it. There were no caveats, there was no greed. It was an incredibly sincere hobby. Now gaming it's gotten way too big, way too mainstream, that the increasing need to be bigger and better has forced the industry into breaking point. And God forbid Nintendo take note of this. Yeah, game keys are crap, they always will be, but it kind of felt like a compromise from Nintendo, as though they were in a technical situation they couldn't get out of. If Sony's decision is final, I am worried Nintendo will see that as a sign to follow, and that would be truly the end of gaming. We cannot let this happen, we just can't. We have to change Sony's mind. They've changed their mind before after Pushback. That was a different era with the PlayStation 3 store and that, different management, different world pretty much. But I swear this Pushback has already been much more severe. We all need to stand up and make our voices heard. Email Sony, write comments on their blog. PMP Games, they have made a petition for this. I will link it below in the description. Sign it. I know some people think, it's useless, but leave that negativity at the door for this one, okay? It's too important. Shut up and sign it. Do it. Personally, last night in my time zone, despite England playing in the World Cup, I did not watch that match. Why? Because I spent that time writing messages, like unique hand-typed messages, not copy and paste things, personal messages to my industry contacts, dozens of them, developers, publishers, retailers. I message them to tell them to stand up and make their voices heard. It can't only be the public, the publishers need to do it too. They need to tell Sony this is a mistake. If the PlayStation 6 doesn't have physical media for the time being, so be it, but allow the PlayStation 5 to live on. I've heard back from a few of my contacts, and all of them are extremely disappointed with this news. Many of them have said they are now actively talking about how to handle the situation. There are even publisher groups forming, coming together to talk about what they can do. There's going to be a coalition, guys. They need to do this privately as well, okay? They need to take this directly to Sony. Public showings are one thing, but picking up the phone, directly calling their Sony contact and telling them to stop being a bitch, that's more important. Well, a bit more polite, but you know what I mean. You have to make your voices heard too. Complain on Twitter. I know it's a cesspool there, but if you have the means, do it. Sign the petition. If you want to cancel your PlayStation Plus as a sign, do that as well. Do something. This is really bad news and we need to make it stop. So help, everyone help. This is the battle that will stop us losing the war for the time being. This is D-Day for us. I was going to say P-Day, physical day, but it doesn't sound very nice, so I'm not going to say P-Day. It's whatever. Anyways, do your bit. I'm doing mine, and have a great day. Take care.